Hey everyone. Well, I hope everyone out there is doing amazing. I wanted to take a quick second actually to thank everyone that watched my last video and liked or commented on it. I really do appreciate that. And also thank you for taking the time to take a look at this video as well. So I'll go ahead and kind of jump right into it. Earlier today I was asked by someone, Sheldon, what is your story? So I thought that would be a great opportunity for me to make my second video with it and just kind of, lay out my story and how I kind of started on my path of entrepreneurship and, what has happened and some key factors in that because I've told the story, in different versions and form, but I've never actually, laid it out and recorded it from the very beginning of the story. So I really wanted to take the opportunity to do that. But first and foremost, just a couple disclaimers. One, I'm not going to say all the things in my story to, kind of make a sob story out of anything. I'm just going to tell you the honest truth and the reality of kind of some of the things. And two, it might be a little bit of a longer video. So I apologize about that, but I'll try to make it, as short as concise as I can. But really, my story about entrepreneurship started, kind of with a negative event in my life. And they say that, when you have life-changing events, they are just that, they really do change your outlook on life. And, that happened for me my senior year in college. My father passed away. And when he passed away, I was in shock. It was very unexpected. We had no idea that it was happening. I actually walked home from class one day and, I walked in and my mom telling me that my dad had passed. So, it was kind of a crazy time in my life. And then actually about 3 months after that, my uncle, who was the only blood relative that I had left that was older than me, he passed away. So it was a lot of craziness going on in my life. I was not in a good state of mind. I had a lot of different stuff going on up here. And at that point in time, I couldn't see any of the type of good that was going to come out of it, and I didn't know that there would be any good that came out of it. But, looking back on it now, I do see the good that happened, and, I'm able to, see those things and really capitalize on that and, appreciate that. So that's, the positive that did come out of it. But after, those life events happened, I actually ended up graduating from Fort Hays State University. I graduated with a degree in business communication and administration. And then I also have an associate's in liberal science. So, I finished school, I got all of that taken care of, and, finished my baseball career in college as well. And then I did what most kids do. I moved home, I moved back in with my parents because I didn't have any money, and I started looking for a job. And really, just any job at that point in time. I just needed to find a way and a source of income. I actually got a job at Interest Bank, which is downtown here in Wichita, Kansas. I was a CSC banker. Basically, what that job title was is I was really a problem solver. I dealt with people outside of the bank. I dealt with different branches within the bank, different employees. I really just solved people's problems, literally every single day. And I knew pretty quick off that, I didn't enjoy that job. It wasn't, my passion and what I really wanted to do in life. But at that point in time, I really didn't seem that I had much of a choice. After I had started that job for a little bit, I found myself like I was in this vicious cycle, and I noticed it after a couple weeks. And my cycle is, what a lot of people refer to as life. And that is, I woke up in the morning, I went to work. I got off work, I went to the gym, I went home from the gym, I ate dinner, I went to bed, and I turned around and I did that, 5 days a week. Some weeks, 6 days a week, every other week I worked on Saturdays. So, I literally was just in this vicious, just same thing after same thing after same thing over and over and over again at my job. And, and this isn't to like knock jobs like that or desk jobs or, anything in that sense whatsoever. If you found something that you love and you truly do enjoy it, I commend you on that. But for me, that job and that style of job was just not for me. It was too monotonous. I cannot get micromanaged. There was just so many things that I did not enjoy about that. So I started looking for other opportunities. I didn't know, I literally didn't know what it was going to be. I had no idea. I just started looking, which, there's kind of a crazy statistic out there that says, most people at their jobs, like 65 to 70% of them are looking for other jobs while they're at their jobs, which to me is a big issue. But, I was one of those people. And randomly, the most random phone call that I could have ever gotten, I got a call from a guy that I used to play baseball with. He called me and said, "Hey, Sheldon, I want you to give me a couple minutes to tell you about this thing tonight. I'm kind of excited about it. I just want you to check it out." And I was just like, "Cool, yeah, man, I'll call you when I get home." I was at work. I got home, called him back. He told me about this thing called Vemma. He had no idea what it was. Literally, knew that there was a product, but didn't know what it was, had none of the backing about it, like literally next to nothing about it. I asked zero questions. I at that point in time in my life, I literally did not care. I just needed a change in my life. So I said yes. I was like, "Dude, let's do this. Like, we'll figure it out along the way. I have just got to have a change of pace. Like, I have to do something different." Got on board, got excited, ordered myself some product, got the product, 3 to 5 days later, not very long later, I tasted the product for the first time, didn't like it. I did not like it whatsoever. I was like, man, what did I just buy? But I had already spent my money, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to drink it. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm just going to give it a chance. Well, come to find out, kind of the reason that I didn't like it was because I was really used to drinking, very sugary, very like the normal things that you're getting out of like your soda machines and so on and so forth. Like, I had kind of let myself start consuming those things, on a daily basis, because that's what was available to me at work, But after I drank these products for about a week, I really started to enjoy them. I love the way that they make me feel. I love just everything about them. I liked the taste at that point in time. So it was a little bit of an acquired taste, but, I enjoyed the way that it made me feel the most. And so I was hooked on them. I enjoyed them. But my first month in the business, I didn't make any money. I didn't know what I was doing. I took my traditional education and tried to apply it to this business, and it didn't work. I literally had zero success in my first month. So I was on my way home from work one day, because I was still working full-time at that time, and I came home, and I was inches away from canceling, my next order that I was going to get. I was like, man, I'm not making any money. I'm going to cut my losses. And by the grace of God, I got a phone call from my friend and mentor, Brad Sarver. And he literally, the first thing that he said on the phone was, "Hey, Sheldon, sorry it's taken me so long to get a hold of you. We've had a lot of things going on with Vemma, but I came across your name. I wanted to give you a call and let you know that I'm here to, help you, assist you, whatever it is that you need, that I can help you become successful." And I was like, man, dude, you couldn't have called it a better time. I was about to just cancel my, my order because I love the product, but, I didn't want to put money into something, before, I understood how this worked or anything like that. I had no one teach me. So I talked to him for about an hour, and he really went into the depths of the product. He went into the depths of the business side of things. And, at the end of that, after hearing about the product and understanding what I had been consuming, I was hooked on the product alone. I didn't even know that all the stuff was in the product in the first place, So I kind of got on board for all kinds of different reasons, but once I heard all of those things, I was super excited. I was like, man, this is perfect. I've had, 2 good relatives of mine pass away from health issues. I need to start putting some proper things into my body so that I can daily, consume something good so I can start to better my health. Not saying that I was unhealthy, but, I wanted to take any precaution that I could after my dad passed away and my uncle passed away, just in the blink of an eye. So that conversation, at the end of that conversation, Brad told me, he said, "Listen to this, and I want this to, really resonate with you." He's like, "Sheldon, in this business, it's very, very simple, and it's like most things in life. All I want you to do is do as I do, say as I say, and eventually you're going to get what I get." And I had this, like, light bulb just blowing moment. I was just like, that makes so much sense. Why was I trying to complicate everything in my life? Like, why not just find someone who knows how to make this successful, let them teach me, and then I'll just listen to them and do what they're doing, and I'll start saying what they're saying, and eventually I'll start getting what they're getting. And I got off that phone call. I was super excited. That very next week, I made one of my very first actual paycheck in the business. I made close to $900. So at that point in time, I was super excited. I thought that I had everything figured out, everything was going good. And then life came and knocked on the door again. And I had 3 of my friends pass away. One of them committed suicide. The other 2 of them got into a car accident. And it was a very tragic time for my friends, that were even closer to those guys than me. I was in the middle of being like a grieving, and on top of that, trying to be supportive. So it was right back into that cycle that I just dealt with last year. I mean, it was a brutal blow to my excitement that I had just gotten back. But really, that changed my outlook. That was kind of the dagger. That was the one thing that made me want to do something different. And it made me realize that tomorrow isn't promised. I have no idea if I'm going to wake up after I go to sleep tonight. And you don't either. And, that made me really want to just do something more meaningful with my life. And like I said, earlier in this video, if you love what you do and you enjoy it and you go to work with passion and you seriously every single day are excited when you wake up, you go to your job and you are seriously excited about whatever it is that you do, I commend you. I think that's awesome. But if you go to work and you're always looking for the weekend, or you're always wanting to find a way out of that job and into something else, and you're not happy, here's my message to you that I kind of want to close up my story with, is you can do whatever it is that you want to do in this life. Whatever it is that you want to do. Okay, when you dream every single day, every single person has a dream. Whether you want to admit it or whether you would say it to somebody else, you have a dream. You have an outlook of your life that you truly want it to be like. Okay, and this is what I'll tell you, is that is your dream. It's yours. Okay, down here inside, that is your dream. Stop asking permission from other people and outside sources and everything else to go and achieve what it is that you want to achieve in life. Just stop worrying about what other people think. Stop worrying about what anything else except for what it is that you want to go get in life. And that was seriously the most defining moment for me, was the fact that I figured that out. And when I figured that out, that's when I went after Vemma full force. In summer of 2013, May, I was able to quit my job at the bank. I was making, as much money doing this, part-time, that I could, go after it full-time. So I did that. And, the rest is kind of history. Long story short, and I don't say these numbers, to, sound cool or anything. But, within 2.5 years now, my business that I'm in with Vemma has, spanned out to over 20 different countries, with close to, I think, 1,700 people, in between there, that and more, way more than that have kind of come into the business and gone. And on top of that, customers as well. I mean, there's just so many people and so many lives that I've been able to help and touch and show and give light to, that you can do whatever it is that you want to do in this world. Whether Vemma is just a stepping stone and it's a vehicle, like it has been for me, even though I still pull the income that I pull from it, it's been a stepping stone for me to be able to get into coaching a little bit more, because I have the time freedom to do it, and also into performance coaching more, because I have the time freedom where I can actually commit to those things. So it's a lot more than just a simple business. And my best advice to anybody out there that's taking the time to watch this, I know we're getting close to 15 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap it up. But just be open-minded to different possibilities. Just give someone the time of day to really explain to you what different things are, because if you don't, you're gonna live this life of that vicious cycle that I talked about, where you find yourself doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And we weren't put here on this earth to do that. We weren't. We weren't. And it's just as simple as that. We were not put here to do that. You were put on this earth to be great. So stop asking permission for your dreams. Go out there, trust your heart, trust your gut, ask questions, be open-minded, and go out there and make a difference, okay? All right, well, I appreciate you guys taking the time. It was a very long video, so thank you. Hope you guys have a great day, great night, wherever you're tuning in from. I appreciate it, and I'll be putting up another one of these here shortly and soon. You guys have a good one. I'll see you. Bye.